beautiful, gorgeous, blissful. I went, oh my gosh, like this is the #1 thing not being taught to entrepreneurs.
He talks about your potential, or everyone has their gift, or whatever, and your happiness comes from pursuing that potential, but you have to be aware of what it is. So what's happening through Instagram and social media and all these other exterior things is we start searching for the guy standing in front of a car that he doesn't own. And that's why I think it's significant, why I pushed him a little bit to what others may perceive as bragging, but he's not. He's saying here, look, I actually own cash. Yeah. Right? I can stand in front of a building, and I've been on paper worth $100 million. My wife gets really pissed off because she doesn't want me to be that guy. If I was out there bragging I have over $100 million on paper, my wife would leave me.
So would I.
Because I brag that I lost it all, she doesn't mind as much. But what he's saying to you is, hey, look, I know what my core potential is, and my happiness is found within me. And not because some dude standing in front of a car he doesn't own, or a house he doesn't own. And just because his name might be on the title doesn't mean he owns it.
And by the way, well, let me finish the thought too, because I'm giving you little pieces of this too. I want to make sure that I said something on this. The reason I tell you, by the way, you've never seen me on social media saying what I told you guys in here, right? Like the one thing about my social media is, in the very beginning, I had a marketing team shoot me. I had like my Ferrari and my jet in it, right? And I just kind of thought that's what you do on Instagram. I didn't have a strategy. My son ran it. And everyone that would meet me would go, your image online is totally different than the guy that I know.
Yeah,
That was my first thought. Totally different. And I went, well, that's not good. And then I got an agent, and they're like, hey, listen, first thing we're doing, the Ferrari's gone, the jet's gone. I'm going, I would prefer that. It makes me uncomfortable, right? I would completely. But I guess my point to you is I had to overcome that belief system that it was necessarily a bad thing. Now I will tell you that if you could take away any of the material things that I've been able to acquire in my life, but you gave me the internal way that I feel about myself, I believe I could go replicate the external things that I want in my life. In other words, the external things for me at this stage, at nearly 50 years old, really aren't material. And the cool thing is they really never were, although I've been able to acquire them as a result of how I vibrated, of my identity, of how I, in some cases, what I believe I'm not deserving of, but that and entitled's the wrong word too, because that's got a negative stigma now. But if it's going to be there, I might as well have it. That's how I look at it.
It's in your probability.
And when I had a heart attack, last thing I'll tell you guys, I'm not going to have here, I had a heart attack about 10 years ago. Let me tell you what I wasn't going to miss. I wasn't going to miss my roles. Right.
That's what Steve Jobs realized. Like he did his letter, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he realized.
Yeah, I would
not miss it.
I could care less about my jet. What I would miss is people. My biggest tag on Instagram has been people matter, things don't. But I think sometimes young entrepreneurs they're so cause-oriented. And you do have influencers out there who I like a lot that kind of constantly poo-poo going to achieve financial success in your life, right? Like it's poo-pooed, almost like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. As long as it's a byproduct of you doing the things you were called to do in your life in the service of other people, there's nothing wrong with it. And so I'm kind of pushing up against that lately because I don't want people to think it's necessarily a bad thing that you have a desire for something nice. You have a desire to eat a great steak or have a nice bottle of wine at some point. There's nothing, or for you to pay off your mom and dad's house, right? Or to have enough money saved that when your sister gets diabetes like mine did and she loses vision in both of her eyes and she's blind and she's a school teacher and she can't drive anymore, that you can get her introduced to the best doctors in the world so she can at least see shadows and be a functional person. I couldn't have done that if I hadn't served thousands and thousands of people and acquired some financial means. I don't want you to think that that's a bad thing. I think the outright pursuit and lust for those things is very shallow and very empty. I just believe that, but I want you to have them. So anyway, that's my relationship with him.
Now you know I want to partner with this guy.
Well, from that,